Chụp thấy đâu, đừng chụp.
So the green plant is called Garden of Eden. Yes.
Không thấy đâu, không thấy đâu. Em biết không thấy đâu.
The product here is very well.
Eden. Eden.
What time do they start to fly?
We don't have expect time, but normally around 4 o'clock.
Oh, so now we have to head out. I see it. You said depend on the leader, huh?
Yes.
Leader is the male or female?
That can be any one of them.
Or can be any?
Yeah, it can be anyone. Who is the brave enough to make a move go out first? So that's the leader.
Oh. And do you think they change the leader sometime or just one?
They change all the time.
Change all the time. Yeah. You know, that's surprising. When the whole cave, I don't see any stacconite.
What's that?
Stacconite.
Yeah, here.
I don't see that.
Too big.
Huh?
Too big. Too big space for stalagmite form.
Yeah, too big for that form. But in
Because you know how the stalagmite form?
how?
They form by dripping of water.
Right, exactly. But here too big.
Yes, imagine if they want to go down, it's not go to same point. They will move by wind.
Oh.
They will go over there here.
Oh, too big. The wind.
So no time for the calcium carbonate to grow.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Yeah. Over in Vietnam, a lot, and beautiful.
We will see when we go to the lanka later on. Wow, yes.
Oh, blanket a lot?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Oh, so we'll go out after this one?
Yes.
Okay. So tomorrow we go to clear water and what?
Clear water?
And?
Wind check?
No, tomorrow at 9:15. I think the guy told me that we go to clear water and...
Yes.
And what?
Off the wind.
Again the wind, not the land.
No.
Okay, here we land. Okay.
Not 9:30, 9:15?
9:15.
Okay.
Yeah, for a wind.
Oh,
Wind cave and...
maybe you go with my father.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I told him I go.
Maybe you go with Mr. Ismail.
Again, you said because too big, so not the taconite is robbing by water robbing. But
Yeah.
here too big, so what? What's wrong?
Too big. And then too much wind.
Too much wind. Oh.
See, you feel the wind?
Yeah. Okay. I see what the point. I see the point. Yeah, too much wind. And beside that, I think the bat too.
Yes.
Yeah, just because when you drop down and the bat may fly and maybe maybe they damage the ripping.
Yes, they can be.
Okay. That.
That's the point.
That's the point. Yeah. because when the part fly and the wind, call the wind and disturb the tectonic, can
Yeah,
grow. Okay, I see the point. Then you have the part in your landscape?
But not too many.
Not too many. Oh, okay, I see the point. Yeah.
The rest is the lower, the small cake, and then go too much light. They have bed, but not many. In small group.
But the tectonic maybe behave a lot of light.
Yeah.
Light from the sea. Maybe that prevent
This
from.
step
Yeah, I see the light.
is from the sunlight.
The sunlight, yeah.
Just nature.
When the bat come out, just one hole there or every hole?
The bed come out.
Just one hole right there?
Yes.
Not every opening, no?
Maybe there's another one. The bed here, the fly over this one. The bed over there, the fly with the other one over there.
Oh, okay.
You see
They use both.
many times, yes?
A very big cake.
Very big, I can tell. Máu thùng. Thì sẽ có con này sâu này.
Long blooded. Yeah. Why they call this cake is after him. Yeah? So when we go inside, please you may take picture, but don't touch any stone, any formation. Don't step on it here, because the thing that we have here, they already been settled up here about a million of years. Yeah. If we destroy it, if it gone, so it means another million years again to grow. Yeah. So please don't touch any formation. You may take picture. Yeah. This cave is the beautiful cave in this rock. Yeah. So take your time, take picture. Yeah. But make sure we don't touch it. Yeah. They don't like the light. I'm sitting and then some drink my water, they put it down on the floor, and then they put it on the top and then they let it go. Look up there. So this is chendol. Yes, the good place is by the observatory. Where? Yes.
Very well. Ooh.
Oh, you can sense them ha.
Chụp chưa? Chụp đi, chụp đi.
Nhiều lắm rồi.
Chụp được không?
Được. Ở đó.
Đừng đi zoom quá, đi video thôi. Anh quay. Oh.
Okay. Now we go out.
Okay. Oh.
How long does it take them? Chạy nhanh tới stadium coi nó hay hơn.
Ooh. I tell you, we all sit here to see them apart. Okay. Ooh.
Oh man.
Ooh, right here. Ooh. Ooh. Chụp, chụp, chụp. Oh.
Sometimes I know it's No, I don't want dry stuff. I don't want biscuits. I want apple. That's poison fruit.
Hello. Ooh. Oh, right there. Oh, right there. Ooh. That's bad.
Lucky us. Nó lấy 60% chan thôi.
Yeah, we all see the part here. Ooh, I really
Quay
see
mẹ
the
không?
part.
Nó có quay mẹ không?
Yeah. Ooh, right there. Right there. Ooh, 2 layers. 2 layer.
I know. That's what happens, isn't it?
Ooh, right there. Ooh, they said 60% of change to the part, but now we see, oh, that's lucky. We're lucky.
What else?
Ooh.
I got the answer because I was actually asking questions and needed an answer. And then
I wonder. Oh, yeah.
and then there's all these tough girls that are really great there. They're like tiny tough girls who just like did the lesson for me. And then we were unraveling. I thought I only bought 5 tickets to do that.
Không có đến đây nè. Đúng,
Here,
đây
here,
à.
here.
I tried to sit in the gym and the guy's like, you're so wobbly, you're so shit, you're so wobbly. I was like, no, I don't want to. But I bought it for my sister.
Oh, yeah.
Why really hot January? He's like, don't enter it. So I bought it.
Yeah, wow. Oh, yeah. Ooh, yeah. Oh, yeah, wow, yeah.
He's all really wobbly, what's wrong with you?
Ba ngồi đi mẹ canh đi. Rõ lắm. Rõ lắm.
Thì chẳng mới chụp thôi, đúng
Chụp được không?
được chứ. Đứng như là anh đứng là chụp
Có thể làm việc.
nè, cái canh này đứng ngồi xuống. Thấy không? Thấy không? Đó, vậy đó, chưa.
Nè, nè, nè.
Thì đó, chưa.
Okay, I go first.
Okay.
Go back.
Okay.
Later on, you just follow the same way. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
Tomorrow,
See you
man.
again.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow you go to the
Yeah, at 9:30, 9:15.
9:15.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, thank you. See you
Okay,
tomorrow.
you're welcome. See you again tomorrow.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I think, you know.
Chứ nhỏ nhỏ thôi gì đừng chịu chụp được lớn á.
Chụp đại chứ có thì chụp thôi.
Được không?
Dạ.
And please do pee in your underwear.
Được không? Đó, chụp được không? Chụp được không? Chụp được không?
Được.
À.
Because it's like the trees open.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Decide which way to go. Oh.
Get on again. Đây coi như là Northern Light.
Yeah, they're on.
Vậy để cho mẹ đi toilet nha.
Đi tới đi.
Mẹ đi cầu.
Cái giữa này cái giữa, cái sang gì lên chuẩn bị này.
Cho lau mặt luôn đi mẹ vô mặt quạt. Đi cầu rồi đi bộ nó đi cầu đi ra quần.
Để giữ tay. Đây tiếp tục.
Cước gì bà rờ vô ấy không?
Tay. Ghê. Đây. Ok. Ok, đưa lên tầng rồi.
Đầu tiên
đi.
Your mate said, he said, where is Disneyland open? Your friend.
I will circle to avoid some eating. You will circle. That's why you go circle here.
So I must have carry back to the
You will circle to avoid hawks or something to eat them. So when they don't see the animals, they did.
No, but I meant when it's like really dark.
Here a lot.
It's a bit. We're caught in the dark with all this. Maybe it's just like it here.
Yeah, right.
So can I introduce you to the our group? This is Pina from Queensland.
He was getting transferred from his slave. You could actually
Circle. Penetrate to eat them until one after later see no dangerous. They start to fly out.
okay. So we kind of all wanted to do the pinnacle.
Okay, we walk from here to your accommodation. And tomorrow morning we'll meet at 9 o'clock at your place where you stay. I remember that to bring each person has to drink one bottle of water for the day. And for the first half day, yeah, so wearing like what Carrie has now is because we expect him to get weight from river pools. And when you get to the trekking point, just wearing like normal, just put on your trekking shoes.
Yeah, they still come out. They still come out a lot. Yeah, they still come out. Now is
See you tomorrow, 8:45.
6 o'clock. They still come out. 6:03 still come out. Yes. Wait a minute. Say what?
Because you always in winter, you always have snow. So a lot of people said,
Ooh.
because this was one of the warmest winter we ever got. Because it was 5 degrees. So if you wear like a sweater, very nice sun. Very clean. Yeah, very clean, yeah. You like sushi? I like a lot. I really, it was very funny because I was in Brunei and
Thôi đi tối quá rồi.
Đây, nó bay hướng khác nhưng mà
Thiên hậu đại. Bà thiên hậu. Hên quá chứ. Thiệt tình á, thấy đủ được đâu phải dễ đâu bà. 60% chen nè. Mà mình thấy bữa nay quá nhiều luôn. Quá trời rồi. Thấy như hệt như cái này đi lên đâu nè ba này.
nãy nói đó,
Đi ra cái gì đó.
Okay.
Muối hay cái gì
Đi.
Muối chua gai.
Đó là gì?
Cái oi nấu đồ ăn.
Oh yeah.
Cái cá mà mấy cái bánh mà mình ăn á toàn palm oil không á. Palm oil không.
Cá với mực.
Cái cá mà mình ăn mà trong bịch mà 10 đồng là 3 bịch á.
Cá là 10 đồng. Cá mà khô hả? À, ok, bây giờ hiểu rồi. Chắc mấy cái chuối qua chiên palm oil luôn á, phải không? Tốt thôi. Chứ đi lại đấy. Now it's 6:30, but dark already. 6:30 dark. See, 6:30, tại gần đường xe đạp đó. Nó mặt trời down 6:30, go up 6:30. Now 6:30, the dark already. So here a lot of insect noise around here. Đừng đi xạo như cái thằng đó nói đó, nó bao giờ cũng 6:30 and ray morning 6:30 and một trời lặng set á 6:30 always never change. Rồi thì nóng rồi nữa, thì hôm nay là nóng rồi nữa. Quack 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 quack. Quack 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 quack. Quack 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 quack. Rainforest, exactly rainforest. No, it's on the road.
Insect khác animal ba mẹ một câu gì mà mắc cười đó. Animal là động vật, còn insect là mấy con bọ sát.
Thì insect cũng là animal gì nữa.
Nè, biết con sai.
resource, very nice resource. The morning today, 26, in the resort, new resorts in nice. There. Cái vô bướng cực này. Cái này là ok ha. Đúng.
Thấy có cây cối đừng có đẹp.
Ini si con này con ngay. Ok chưa. Cái này. Con này nữa. Không ra.
Qua cái này là hai cái mảnh nó đẹp. Qua đây nè, hai cái miếng này đây.
Ok. Ok. Đó.
Xuống này là chỗ menu, nó có chỗ menu thì học vậy.
Ok.
Cái này đẹp hơn ở Gầm Boa nhiều. Giảm con ấy lắm, giảm con tu cầm. Đây khỉ á.
Không gì đây.
Ồ anh biết rồi, đây nè, nó đây nè.
Nào.
Đây nè.
Con này nè. Con này làm luôn. Tôi nói gì?
Nó không lật lên được á.
Không biết tôi nói gì. Vừa. Very nice results here.
Bà quay hết nguyên cạnh đó.
Học đúng con kia đi. Con kia lên, chờ kìa.
Nó có tên đường đàng hoàng nha. Cái khu này lớn rồi.
Đẹp hả? Để biết sao.
Buổi sáng nó dễ chịu hơn, buổi sáng nó dễ chịu hơn.
Cá như đó. Đúng lên trên chụp cái
Để bà chụp cái trên đường không mà.
hôm qua chụp lên chưa?
Đây là dưới này cái chữ lớn lắm, chữ ra vô đi qua dưới xuống dưới suối này.
Đây. Morning. Này có bút nè.
Dưới này nè, nó có chữ vô resort là các bạn.
Nè đứng đây nè. Này chụp cái dòng sông này. Này tắm được.
Đây là ba nhờ thằng này nó chụp cho em với anh nè.
Ok. Đứng chỗ này. Okay. Now it's the morning of John 26.
Nhiều khi cái ép.
Here the morning of 26, March 26, 2014. We were out from the resort. We come to the resort again, and then we go to the resort.
Trời mưa đó mà hầm bà thấy không?
The way you go to Hulu Park, beautiful view, the cloud under the mountain. There's the mountain. Chụp.
Bà đứng ở kia bà chụp lại.
Phải biết ở này rồi.
Khỏi phải quát mất cả nửa tiếng đồng hồ. Rồi tối mình lang thang cho mình chơi trễ cũng được. Không biết làm cũng đàng hoàng.
This morning we come back here again, go to the park, very nice park, quiet. Now it's about 8 a.m.
Anh nghĩ mình đi ra để register đi 8 giờ rồi ba.
Ok, đi.
Rồi 9 giờ nó mới bắt đầu.
Mấy con này làm này nè. Đây. Ôi dồi ôi. Này,
Every fine evening, there's a parade. 3 million bats glide out of the cave mouth at dusk to set out on their silent hunt. Each bat consumes up to 2,000 insects per night. The perfect end to a perfect... Weary hikers return to the comfort of a sheltering roof.
The sunset so beautiful.
Nature is not sick. It is clean water. Just listen to those frogs. Business as usual for these creatures of the night. To thousands of visitors each year, Mulu National Park is a wonder of the world. And it's home, sweet home, to 3 million bats.
Wow.
Đến đâu rồi?
Đẹp quá, cái chỗ này đẹp quá rồi. Để coi lại từ đầu vậy.
Rồi.
Imagine a region stretching from high mountain tops through temperate woodland, subtropical forests and equatorial jungles, past great rivers, lakes and mangroves, to a coastline fringed with glorious sandy beaches, cave-riddled cliffs and pinnacles. Imagine a vast archipelago scattered across 5,000 kilometers of ocean. Great volcanoes mark the horizon, surrounded by seas and coral gardens teeming with fish, and providing havens for turtles and dolphins. See migrating birds in their thousands, sweeping down from their Arctic breeding grounds to flock along the tropical coasts and wetlands. Look upon the extraordinary variety of wildlife in this great expanse. Elephants, deer, and wild cattle stalked by stealthy predators. Great apes, gibbons, strange proboscis monkeys foraging in the treetops, wide-eyed tarsiers, giant reptiles, and a vast complexity of gorgeous butterflies and beetles.
Beetle.
For this was Southeast Asia before the creation of concrete jungles with their rapidly multiplying populations, destructive saws and machines. Now, this is the home we call ASEAN, where nations draw their boundaries across mountain chains, through tropical forests and across the coral seas. Can we still find these riches? Can we still wonder at their beauty, or be inspired by their perfection? It is not too late. We can save examples of our natural heritage. Let our children and their children understand where they come from. Let them take pride in the environments that shape our varied cultures. Let them benefit from the bountiful uses and ecological services this rich biodiversity has to offer. Biodiversity is the very heart of our environment. It is the total richness of all the living forms and life processes of our planet. Biodiversity includes the full range of ecosystems, their component species, and the genetic variety of those species produced by nature or shaped by man. Biodiversity brings enormous benefits to mankind, from direct harvesting of plants and animals for food, medicine, fuel, construction materials and other uses, to aesthetic, cultural, recreational and research values.
Nhiều con nào.
Benefits to ecosystems include climate and water regulation, the creation and protection of soils, helping to reduce floods and soil erosion, shoreline protection, and providing natural controls of agricultural pests, all of which promote creative evolution. Within the ASEAN region alone, these services are estimated to be worth $200 billion per annum. Biodiversity is our wealth. It is our shared natural heritage. The natural world is not just a collection of magnificent and wonderful species. The people of ASEAN also depend upon the vast biodiversity around them to supply their daily needs. Millions of people depend on sustainably harvested fish, timber, and fruits for nutrition and their livelihoods. It's been estimated that 80% of the income of the rural poor is derived from the local biodiversity. Wood remains the most common fuel throughout the region. In fact, much of the leap in development of the countries of ASEAN during the period of 1970 to 1990 was founded with sale of commercial timbers. Evidence of man's dependence is everywhere. Not only do most of ASEAN's original cultures embrace the concept of maintaining a healthy balance with nature, but the biodiversity of the region also forms an integral part of these living cultures. The peoples of ASEAN have domesticated the elephants and jungle fowl. They've trained the monkeys to collect coconuts. They've bred crocodiles and fish, and they've nurtured rice, vegetable crops, and exquisite fruits. To lose our biodiversity would be to lose our culture. To lose our culture would be to lose our identity. The ASEAN dream could so easily become the ASEAN nightmare.
Nếu cần tôi đi coi. Nó có nhỏ nó quý lắm, hỏi cần tôi ngay với chị à. Chị đi thôi.
Bats are among the world's most fascinating, beneficial, and likable animals. Yet we easily misunderstand and often fear and persecute them. Nearly 1,000 kinds comprise almost a quarter of all mammal species. They live in all but the most extreme desert and polar regions. But bats like this are disappearing rapidly, victims of human ignorance. They come in an enormous variety, from crested bats to epauletted bats, from big eyes to tiny eyes, and from funnel ears to rabbit ears. Some have strange faces, But even these are beautiful to scientists who study the sophistications of bat navigation. The echolocation systems of bats like this surpass current scientific understanding and are far more efficient than any similar system developed by human beings. Using special flaps and nose leaves, bats can use sound alone to detect obstacles as fine as a human hair and can see everything but color on the darkest night. They also have eyes, and no bats are blind. The world's smallest mammal, the bumblebee bat of Thailand, weighs less than a penny, while giant flying foxes have wingspans of 3 to 6 feet. Most people refer to bats as though they were all alike, and yet these bats are less related to each other than a tiger is to a sea otter. In reality, even bats like this are more closely related to people than to the mice with which they are frequently compared. Bats belong to the order Chiroptera, meaning hand wing. A bat's wing is just an expanded hand with long fingers connected by a thin, sturdy membrane. Some, such as the yellow-winged bat from Africa, are exceptionally colorful. Contrary to what most people think, bats are among the world's most naturally gentle animals. Like dolphins, many are highly intelligent and easily trained, each with its own unique personality. Like dogs and cats, bats get excited at mealtime. They certainly are not dirty or scary, and some are real characters. They do not become entangled in people's hair, and frightening tales of bats as carriers of rabies and other dread diseases are grossly exaggerated. Most bats are harmless and highly beneficial. Nevertheless, only experts should attempt to handle them, because any bat that you can catch is more likely than others to be sick. When people are bitten, it is normally because they have picked up a grounded bat that bites in self-defense. Simply leave bats alone, and they are happy to return the favor. Fewer than half of 1% of bats contract rabies, and even those individuals rarely become aggressive. Mortality statistics show that our own pet dogs are far more dangerous. Ironically, the most serious health hazards involving bats are those created when poisons are used to get rid of them. The only safe, permanent way to evict unwanted bats is to exclude them by plugging entry holes after their twilight departure to feed. Any bats trapped inside can be allowed to escape at sundown the next evening. Evictions should not be made from early to midsummer, when flightless young may be trapped and starve. Mouse-eared bats, the ones most commonly found in buildings in North America and Europe, can catch up to 500 or more insects, including many mosquitoes, in a single hour. 70% of bats are insectivorous, and they are the only major predators of night-flying insects. This African heart-nosed bat is about to catch a beetle, and this American red bat is an important predator of moths, including agricultural pests such as cutworm and corn borer moths. One colony of 20 million free-tailed bats can eat more than 250,000 pounds of insects nightly. That's the equivalent weight of 23 Asian elephants. Countless tons of droppings produced by insectivorous bats continue to be mined as one of the world's most valued fertilizers. In the United States, guano from a single pea sold for more than $6 million. Where large colonies have been protected, sales continue. A few bats are carnivores. Some use their large feet and claws to snatch minnows. Others even catch frogs. These bats use the frogs' mating calls to identify and locate their prey. Only 3 of nearly 1,000 bat species eat blood, and these live only in parts of Latin America. But zoos, the news media, and even natural history books often emphasize them as though they were typical. This bias leads many people to equate all types of bats with vampires. In truth, even in the rainforests where vampires live, the vast majority of bats are extremely beneficial, so much so that these forests might not be able to survive without them. Hundreds of kinds of fruit and nectar-eating bats pollinate flowers and disperse seeds. Their activities are vital to rainforests and to many of the world's most economically important plants. Most bats prefer to carry fruit away from the tree before eating, apparently to avoid predators. Over a period of several nights, bats may carry more than a ton of seeds from a single wild fig tree. This dramatically increases the number of seedlings that will survive in new locations. Even when fruit is eaten at the tree, bats still are exceptionally efficient seed dispersers. This dwarf epauletted bat, for example, may eat 2.5 times its body weight in a single night. It digests entire meals in only 15 minutes, eliminating large quantities of seeds as it flies between feeding sites. Such bats do not hesitate to cross cleared areas and sometimes travel up to 50 kilometers or more in a single night. In Africa, up to 95% of forest regrowth on cleared land comes from seeds dropped by bats like this. In contrast, birds and other animals drop seeds mostly beneath existing trees. Straw-colored flying foxes illustrate the vital ecological and economic role played by many flying foxes. Only a few breeding colonies of these bats are known in all of West Africa, but each contains up to 1 million or more individuals. Bats from just one of these colonies pollinate flowers and disperse seeds for thousands of trees nightly, covering vast areas in annual migrations. Many African tree species rely on them. Just one, the Iroko tree, produces an annual timber harvest valued at roughly $100 million. This Jamaican fruit-eating bat is carrying an allspice berry, one of Jamaica's most valued export crops. Much of the harvest comes from wild trees that continue to rely on a combination of bats and birds for seed dispersal. Another is about to take a right on. In the wild, many, if not most, economically important tropical fruits rely on bats for propagation. These include plantain, bananas, mangoes, guavas, breadfruit, avocados, dates, figs, and many more. Other tropical products from bat-dependent plants include balsa wood for crafts and fishing lures, kapok filler for life preservers, fibers for rope, carob for drinks and candy, and even agave juice for tequila liquor. A seemingly endless variety of flowers open or produce nectar only at night, relying on bats for pollination. The shaving brush flower in Panama opens at dusk and falls off by morning. Like many bat-dependent flowers, it is white, enabling bats to see it more easily on dark nights. This short-nosed fruit bat in Thailand is pollinating a wild banana flower. Although cultivated bananas do not produce seeds or need pollination, wild ancestral varieties continue to rely on bats. These plants are sometimes the only source of genetic material required to combat disease or improve the productivity of crops. Other commercially harvested fruits continue to depend on bats. The dawn bat, a small Asian flying fox, is the only known pollinator for the durian fruit, whose annual harvest is valued at $112 million. In Latin America, balsa wood harvests also continue to rely on bats for pollination. Sadly, the great value of bats like this goes largely unnoticed. Even worse, millions of such highly beneficial bats are killed in poorly managed vampire control programs that often do irreversible harm. In just one campaign, More than 8,000 caves were poisoned or dynamited, killing entire ecosystems of unique life. Here, Africa's most famous tree, the giant baobab, is about to be pollinated. Baobab flowers open only at night and are perfectly adapted for bat pollination. Only bats approach from below in a manner likely to contact the flower's reproductive organs, which hang beneath the nectar-filled petals. Without its bat pollinators, the baobab might die out, triggering a chain of linked extinctions of many other plants and animals. The same bats that service baobabs and other important trees too frequently are perceived only as crop pests and are killed in mass eradication programs, sometimes even in national parks. Most commercial crops, including mangoes, must be picked green for shipment. The truth is, bats do not like unripe fruits any more than we do. Bats usually eat fruits that ripen prematurely or are missed by pickers. Such fruits are lost to the farmer whether or not bats find them. By removing these overripe fruits, bats actually may help farmers by reducing breeding opportunities for pests such as these fruit flies. Farmers and their governments must be educated. Bats like this often serve as model animals for medical research. They have contributed to the development of navigational aids for the blind, birth control and artificial insemination techniques, vaccine production, drug testing, and even to a better understanding of low-temperature surgical procedures. However, careless exploitation increasingly threatens their survival. Bats are among the most vulnerable to extinction of any animal on Earth. Most females produce only one baby each year. Others require up to 5 years to leave just 2 surviving offspring. Severe winters force many bats to migrate or hibernate. Those that hibernate spend the winter in only a few unique caves or mines, where they are extremely vulnerable to human disturbance. These are endangered gray bats. More than half of their entire species population winters in just this one cave in the southeastern United States. Many large colonies have been destroyed by repeated human disturbance. Educated cave explorers avoid bat hibernation caves in winter and nursery caves in summer, but many unknowingly continue to harm bats. Bats form the largest and most vulnerable colonies of any warm-blooded animal. In this Texas cave, some 20 million free-tailed bats cover thousands of square feet of cave walls. Yet they could be destroyed by a single vandalous act. Sites such as this are now rare and disappearing rapidly. In Europe, many bat populations are estimated to have declined by 90% or more in only 20 years and are now endangered. This program was produced by Bat Conservation International, an organization dedicated to reversing the alarming trend of bat decline and extinction. We are beginning to make progress, but we need your help. It is our...
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. The F45 tour to Clearwater Sail will start in 5 minutes. The F45 tour to Clearwater Sail will start in 5 minutes. If you book on this tour, please meet us in front of the park office. Thank you. Have a nice day.
By the way, my name is Pan. I'm your guide for Wind and Clearwater. And before we arrive at the Wind and Clearwater, we will stop by the Penan settlement. That's where I live. Okay, they are selling handicraft. Yeah? If you want to buy some souvenir, you can choose the best. Okay? From here, we'll stop by the village. And after that, we push it back by the boat again, push it to the cave. We come to the first cave is Wind. And then about 45 minutes over there, then we come back and then walk by the boardwalk to Clearwater, and then we end the tour in Clearwater about 12:30 later. Okay, we come back here around 1 o'clock. Okay, that is for our tour today. Okay, if you have any problem, any question as we go along, you can ask. Okay, we are ready. Okay. Thank you. You understand me? Your flight 2 p.m.
Yeah. So. Very good.
2:30.
So we about 2:30. Okay, flight. So okay.
Okay.
But we have to go back to the hotel pick up the luggage.
Yeah. And this thing you have to let me know when any
Thằng này nó chua quá.
after that then you can let me know that so that you will go a bit early. Yeah, because 1 hour before the flight you have to be
Okay.
there.
Okay.
Otherwise I cannot stop the plane when the plane.
Oh.
We have an hour and a half. Thằng này nó 2 o'clock mà. Your flight too?
No, same flight.
2:35. Yeah. So we probably should be leaving at 1 o'clock.
Yeah. Okay.
Simple.
I hope.
So we're gonna gonna visit your village first. Yes. Oh, that's where you can.
Up. Yeah.
Ya, 20 nih.
Đó, trời đông luôn cái một giờ.
Thì đâu pa thì đã karam.
Đi theo group mình nè ba.
Oh.
Pembot apa jangan ini?
Mặt cái này nữa.
Ini ikut ini. Mencari.
Mình có 9:30 rồi đó.
Oh, this is a full one that you just told? Oh, that's
Không phải cầu đó. Không. Nãy cầu lớn hơn.
go in the water?
Ồ chứ đúng là cầu nãy đó. Đúng là cầu nãy đó. Không, lúc khác thì lúc khác.
Đông đồ quá trời.
Where are you getting that? Helicopter.
Mẹ phải mặc vest vô.
Fun. Laugh a lot. Chuyện được laugh a lot. Mặc vest đi, đợi mặc vest đi. Đợi mặc vest,
Anh nói gì?
mặc vest vô.
Chưa mà nó chưa kêu mà.
Thì
Bà ra mới đứng này lại chụp trên ấm này. Cái thuyền này nè.
Oh. Ini apa? Ini kan?
đi.
Probably you pull out the bit of the chain. Like, yes. One. Okay.
have to put a boat.
Yeah, it's just yellow too. Yeah, this one is yellow
When, oh, you have to put a boat. Jump out to put a boat, boy.